Hey, morning, everybody. Brannon Beliso here. Everybody's been asking me about our Mother's Day party, our birthday parties, our parents' night out, and tomorrow in my Rainmaker event, I will cover that. I have a webinar courtesy of Rainmaker at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look for the link somewhere in my Facebook here and get signed up for that. I'll take your questions live as well. If you want to send questions ahead of time, please do so. I encourage that. The adversities of life are often overwhelming, are often extremely challenging, are often more than we believe we can handle. But the Dalai Lama says it really well. It is easy to be great when things are going your way. Can you be great when life is difficult? That's what builds character. That's what makes us a better person. And throughout my life, I mean, we all have war stories. We all have our personal challenges. We all have the things that ail us. But through my own life, I've witnessed and experienced many challenging things. And I think I have two choices as they come across my plate. I can either put on my big boy pants, pull up my boots and get in there, or I can climb upon my pity pot and cry like a little baby. And there really are, those are the two choices. That's it. And it's amazing to witness the very amazing behavior. Here's one story I want to share. I really want to choose my words properly for this. I remember when my wife's mother's mother passed away, and we had gone to see her. She lived on her own until her 80s, and then she'd gotten sick, and within a year she passed away, and she had cancer, and she had passed away the day after Easter. And this, I don't know how many years ago this was now. Probably me and my wife have been married 10 years, so it was sometime prior to that. And I remember visiting her on Easter Sunday, 24 hours before she passed away. And she was so gracious. And she thanked us for being there. And she was just so appreciative. And I was looking at her going, wow, this woman is dying. Yet, her ability, you know, to display humanity at its finest was just a memory that stays with me till this day. And the challenges we all go through and suffer are always going to be there. And we think about it in our business, and our business is our life, and we know that as martial arts school owners, it's so much more than just a business to us. It's our life. And when a student quits and leaves, it breaks our heart. We take it very personally, as much as I say we shouldn't, and it's just, you know, it's about selection, not rejection. On a human level, yes, we are affected by it. We can't help that. So, I might encourage to have a system of checks and balances in place for those rough times, because they will be there. You'll have a bad month. You'll be concerned about rent. You know, one of your black belts will leave. Maybe even do something like open up down the street. All those things are possible. They just are. But if you have a skill set in place, and whether that's putting on a good Bob Marley song, don't worry, right? Whatever it may be, it could be go getting some yogurt. Maybe you go for a walk on somewhere cool like Mount Tamalpais that we have here. Whatever that might be. It could be journaling. It could be playing a guitar. It could be taking your dog for a walk. Please try to put those things in place, because there's little systems of checks and balances remind me to embrace the big picture of life in such a unique... Let's see if I can block this out. No, I can't block it out. In such a unique and compelling way. Because money comes, money goes. Students come, students go. But to be able to have yourself in such a unique way as my wife's grandmother, even as she was facing death, is really the mastery of life at its purest and its finest. So I'm ever mindful of that. And as we go through challenges, as we go through suffering, as the Buddhists would say, suffering and karma are just simply part of life. And we look at suffering at this end-all, be-all, because we don't like discomfort, we don't like suffering, we don't like pain, we don't like adversity. If we can avoid it, we avoid it. Classic example is a child. You know, if you look at a child and they're not feeling you, what do? They just turn their head to the side and they don't look at you. And they believe if they don't look at you, you don't exist. It's not there. Well, guess what? People do that with their lives. People do that with their businesses. And then they find themselves in predicaments that are very unhealthy for their business, or very challenging for their business. And there's no solution in that. You feel me? There's no solution in that. So as school owners, I just want to give that to you, because you are your own boss. You are the architect of your business. There's nobody to, you're it. It begins and stops with you. So have that in place. For me, it's getting massages. I get massages every week. Did I say every week? Yes, every week. I'm, going back to my house now and I'll get a massage. I like my cup of chai tea. I like to sit in Beats Coffee and write. Writing is a wonderful, wonderful a tool for me, not only of learning and expression creatively, but it's like purging. I can journal, and some days that journal is F-U, 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 but it gets out of your system. It doesn't sit there, and ferment, and it's dark energy, and that can turn into sickness. Absolutely. Stress kills. Stress has been known to turn into cancer. Stressing over things that are beyond your control, stressing over a student leaving, stressing over things are not good. The opposite of that is turning a blind eye and acting like it doesn't exist. I like to attack things head on. I really, really do. And we have challenges in our business, or we have adversity. I like to go right for the jugular. I like to nip it in the bud. I like to go after it. I'm pretty passionate about that. My papa taught me that. My papa really taught me to be an action taker. He taught me don't wait for somebody, because we had no money growing up. So we had to do everything ourselves. We had to figure things out. We didn't have Google. We didn't have those tools that are available today. So it forced us to be critical thinkers by default. And being that critical thinker by default is a wonderful way to manage stress. Because what stresses us out is our inability to take action. What stresses us out is our inability to control another human being. But a critical thinker recognizes at a very base level, I'm only in control of me. That's it. And that alone is a huge task within itself. Try not going to the bathroom for 24 hours. You feel me? So it's important to understand that you have 2 hands, you have 2 feet. That's what my mom used to say. Get it yourself. You got 2 hands, get it yourself. So my parents taught me that at a very young age, to be resourceful, to be proactive, to be an action taker, to be a critical thinker, all the tools that you need to be very successful. All the tools that most marketing consultants out there will not give you. They will not give you. And no matter how many zeros are at the end of your bank account, if you suffer from stress, if you suffer from any type of things in your life that create imbalance, then you need to have a method, a tool, a path to cure that. You really do. So I know that we started out talking about rocking the Mother's Day event. I'll do that tomorrow. Join me for my Rainmaker webinar at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The link is somewhere on Facebook. But I really wanted to share that. I talk to many school owners that are going through challenges right now. They are. Maybe because it's tax time. Maybe because it's a slow month. I don't know. But I share with them that you may not have put yourself in this predicament. It might be circumstances. It might be whatever, which is irrelevant to me. I'm not big at pointing fingers and blaming people. I'm really big on embracing my accountability in this situation. I'm really big on embracing solutions, not problems. Because if I take the energy that created the problem to try to solve it, I will fail miserably. I will fail miserably. So I'm always proactive. I'm always looking for a solution. I'm always looking for the rainbow after the storm. I'm always looking for the good in whatever adverse situation, because there is. And the good may simply be the lesson to be learned. But nonetheless. So people ask me all the time, they say, hey, you look good for 55, you don't look stressed out, you have all these businesses, and God, that must be so stressful. But it isn't, because I know how to process stress at a very fundamental level. And my parents gave me those tools. Again, growing up poor, growing up in adversity, growing up in a survivalistic environment, I was born into stress. I spent 4 years in a foster home. I can process stress. It's not a big deal. Just like when I was a fighter, it's not a big deal to step into a ring, get punched, and punch somebody. It's like eating, for me, it's like eating a bagel. It's no big deal. So life is pretty much the same way. So I think it's very important in our curriculum, in the life skills education that we teach, in the example that we set forward, that we are grace under pressure, that we are that ability to share that, because that is very attractive to a parent, that's very attractive to a student, and that law of attraction that we speak of, right? If I'm always wimping out every time somebody throws me a curveball, then I put myself in a very challenging position. That is not a good example for people to follow. It just simply is not. Cool? So I wanted to share that with you today. I'm really, really feeling that. I'm really feeling the power of that. And as I face my own challenges in life and I have my systems of checks and balances, I'm mindful of that. When I stepped out of the house today, it's a sunny day, I stopped in the driveway, turned to the sun, took in a little vitamin K, which I think is essential for our well-being, and super powerful. And then I made sure some of the other things that help me lives, I love to hear my daughter sing. So I asked my daughter, sing Papa a song. So my daughter sang me a song. So I thought that was pretty cool too. And then after that, I decided to share this with you, because that's also very healing. To teach something is to learn it twice. And I learned today that this skill set that I have, these tools that have been giving me, are super powerful. And when in doubt, throw down some Bob Marley, man. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. And it will be. It will be. Cool? So join me tomorrow for my Rainmaker webinar. Look for the link here. Sign up for it. It's all good. Share this with as many people as you can. You can find me at YouTube. I've got a lot of posts at YouTube. You'll find me at Vimeo, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. All right? Until we talk again, folks, you go out there and live your best life.